Hey everybody, Ryan here coming at you with a video for today. And today I want to talk about a film that I held off seeing for a very, very long time. I was very excited that I finally broke down and bought it. Just go ahead and show you real quick. William Friedkin's Sorcerer from 1977, starring Roy Scheider and a bunch of other people that are popular. Some are popular in other countries, and it kind of has a big international cast, and they all come together in one little town. So this film is based on the novel The Wages of Fear by, not even going to say the guy's name because I'm gonna butcher it, but it's based on a novel. It was eventually made into a movie called The Wages of Fear that is on the Criterion Collection that I love, I absolutely love. And this is another take on the novel. It's not necessarily a remake. In fact, William Friedkin does not like the term remake in terms of talking about this film because it is just another take on the novel. And so basically you have a group of guys that they all have different backgrounds, and they end up in a small town, and in order to make some money, because they have nothing, they go on a very dangerous mission to transport nitroglycerin on a truck through the jungle, and I'm pretty sure it's South America, and literally at any bump it could explode. And so that's where a lot of the suspense is, and they're trying to get to an oil well that has caught on fire, and the only way to cause the fire to go down is to put nitroglycerin in there and cap it off. And so these guys are on this mission to bring the nitroglycerin to its rightful place. That's and same thing with Wages of Fear, except Wages of Fear goes over a bumpy road in, I'm pretty sure, Mexico. Mexico. I'm pretty sure it's Mexico. And it's through like bumpy roads and stuff like that. But this is through a jungle. And it is incredible. But what makes this film different in some ways is really the first hour of the film is each of these characters' backstory up until they ended up in this town. And they all have flaws and all that kind of stuff. And then, the second part of the movie is the mission. And will they survive? And it is some of the most white knuckle suspense I've ever experienced in a movie. And I never thought a movie would be able to, I always avoided it because I loved Wages of Fear so much. And finally I was like, you know what? I love William Friedkin. I need to just finally get this film. And, he was talking about on Twitter when this Blu-ray came out that he supervised this restoration and stuff. And this is his preferred version of the film. And he's very, very blunt about certain cuts of his film over the years in terms of home video releases. This is one that he said, this is the absolute only way to see the film. And so so I blind bought it, and I started listening to the soundtrack years ago. Tangerine Dream does the soundtrack, and it is phenomenal. Nice synth score, and I'm really into that kind of music. And so I had this music and the soundtrack in my brain so much by the time I even saw the film. So it just adds this eerie spookiness, otherworld kind of feeling to it. It's just pure atmosphere. And so I finally broke down and watched this film, and I could not turn it off. I thought it was so brilliant. And I would actually say, to me, this movie is more rewatchable than Wages of Fear. I cannot believe I'm saying that. So Wages of Fear also, if you just tell somebody this is a crazy good suspense adventure, they're gonna be like, okay, cool, but that has a lot of time for character development as well. But this one even goes even further to where it literally is shot in different parts of the globe, and all these guys end up in one place. Roy Scheider plays a just like a con man who a robbery goes wrong, and he ends up in this town, and each of the other characters has their own little thing too. With some of these reviews, I'm really going to try to be spoiler free because I think it's definitely needed for some of these films, but I definitely really wanted to make a video talking about this. So with this film, I was so engrossed the entire time, and I thought, since I had seen another version of the story before, that maybe the suspense wasn't going to be as like crazy. Boy, was it. There is a incredible scene in this film dealing with one of the trucks going over a bridge over a river, and there's so much, it's like a hurricane going on, and you're just like like, it is insane, pure insanity. And the acting is top notch, and it's one of those gritty, realistic kind of feeling movies. Roy Scheider, I've always thought that like one of the movies that has the actors getting so filthy in it, like Papillon with Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. They are so filthy the entire movie. You really feel that they're in that situation. This is another one of those films. There's scenes in this film. Roy Scheider is filthy. Like, he had really been in the jungle for months and months and months, and it just adds to the believability of the entire situation. So if you guys have been holding off on buying this or watching this film, you need to see it. I'm one who loves Wages of Fear. I have it on DVD Criterion and Blu-ray Criterion. I held off watching this because I love that film so much. But I think this movie I might love this one more, because I ended up thinking about this movie more, the soundtrack and everything. I think this is more me. This is more my kind of film, even though the other one is still a masterpiece. This is just kind of my preferred version now, which is crazy. I never thought that would happen. So yeah, Sorcerer from 1977. This Blu-ray does not have any special features except a trailer, but to me, like, the Blu-ray was like $9 on Amazon, really cheap. It looks phenomenal, and I'm like, I don't care if something's bare bones sometimes, because if the film is like really worth it, like, I'm okay. In fact, I don't really care about special features some of the time. So I think it was worth every dime, because I spent more time thinking about this movie, talking with other people about it. I was talking to my buddy Luke, Razor Wire Reviews, about the film as well. I've recommended it to a bunch of people. I even tweeted about it. William Friedkin liked the tweet and said thanks. Like, this film, like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And it was one of those things, because I had listened to the soundtrack so much, that I was so waiting for this film, and I bought it. It came in, and I held on to it for like a week, and I waited until the perfect time, and it was awesome. So definitely check this out. This Blu-ray is bare bones, like I said, but it's worth every penny, even though it's $9. I would pay like $30 just for this film. Like, that's how I feel about it. Maybe one day we'll get like a Criterion or some deluxe edition with the making of it, which the making of the film, it's another one of those movies like Apocalypse Now that has such a huge, infamous behind the scenes like production. So, you know, this is William Friedkin after a string of Oscar nominated films, including the one that won Best Picture, French Connection, and then, you know, The Exorcist. And like, this is like, go make your movie, do whatever you want, spend as much money as you want, and go all out. And that's what this film is. Kind of like, you know, Michael Cimino with Heaven's Gate, another film that I think is brilliant. Also Apocalypse Now, another film that's brilliant. Like, I'm one of those guys that loves the excess of like a filmmaker. Sometimes maybe you feel like maybe he's doing too much. Like, he literally is just going over the edge. I always like those kind of movies because I see like the flaws and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not saying this film is perfect, but it is a masterpiece to me. So anyways, yes, 1977 Sorcerer, directed by William Friedkin. I hope you guys watch this and enjoy it. Let's get a thumbnail picture. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye. One last thing. I may be doing another video in the future on this film full of spoilers because there's so much to talk about in regards to the film. So I think it'd be cool, maybe in a little, like, after I rewatch it again the next time, make a video about it, because there's so much to say about, you know, a person that lives their life and makes bad choices. Like, do they deserve the punishment and the fate that is given? You know, all those kind of questions about whether you are living a good life, that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about all that in another video. But until then, enjoy this one. Thank you guys so much for watching.